Hello, gentlemen! Well, you just met 4100, and you thought my logo for the Deep Fried King channel was something I just snatched off the internet. Now here's 4100, guys. Long story, I don't like handling him too much. His teeth tend to fall out. He's kind of delicate. Anyway, I'm going to put him away and I'll tell you the story. Let's get him up in his box. But that's 4100, and that's his resting place. Okay, gentlemen, that's 4100 right there. Now here's the deal. 4100 stands for a date, 4/1/2000. On that date I came home, my house was being burglarized. First thing I did was spin around and run right back out the back door and called the cops. Cops got here, they searched the house, and up in one of my upstairs bedroom they found this guy vapor locked on the floor. Evidently he'd been sucking on that crack pipe so long that his heart gave out. You know, running up and down the stairs, whatever. So I'm like, damn. So he's gone, coroner comes, I can't use my house for the day. They get him out of here. Of course, you know, I call my buddies, tell them, damn, look at this, man, I had a guy vapor locked in my upstairs bedroom. No big deal. One of my buddies is a lawyer. He says, you know what, his family might come back on you, let me keep track of this, make sure that we're not going to have any issues. I'm like, okay, I'm no lawyer, I don't know how that works, but you hear about stupid shit happening all the time. Lo and behold, about a month later, look, my buddy calls me, you know, I talked to him. Anyway, he calls me and tells me, you know, hey, this guy was a pauper, had nothing, street guy, no family, no friends, nobody. So, okay, big deal, you know, don't care. So, where I live, if you're a pauper, this county can do whatever the hell they want to with you. They can either bury you in Pauper's Field, or I don't know where they bury you, but anyway, they can bury you or donate your body to science. Well, we got the medical center here. So, long story short, about 4 or 5 months later, I got another buddy who works in the medical center. I do contracting, so I know people all over town. He calls me up, and of course says, if you work in a building, you know, if you work in a hospital, you know most of the doctors, you know, you eat lunch with them and all this type of stuff. If you work in an office building, you know this guy, that guy. You see people in the building. Well, my buddy is eating lunch with one of the doctors down there. And, you know, of course, they're making small talk, chit-chat. He starts telling him the story about my house getting burglarized. Doctor looks at him and says, you know, what's the date? And my buddy tells him the date, 4/1/2000. So the doctor, you know, my buddy, they keep talking, he tells him the story, and the doctor says, well, the deal is on the date you go into the morgue is the date, they turn that into a number, and that's your number at the morgue. So that's how the body's identified. They add some letters and shit like that to it too. Well, the doctor calls him up a couple of days later, you know, they're in the building, he's working there. He calls him up and goes, hey man, believe it or not, your buddy's burglar is down in our morgue. He said that the state or the county or however that works donated his body to the medical center. And this guy, this doctor's like the cranial facial guy. If somebody hits you in the head with a hammer and puts a big dent in your head, he can fix it. And so he had the school, the classes down there, they do whatever the hell the doctors do with this. So he tells him, yeah man, we got the burglar down here in the morgue. So I'm like, okay. So my buddy calls me, you know, he thinks this is pretty cool and all that stuff. Small world, right? So, lo and behold, they got the body down there. I still don't care. Long story short, year later, 2 years later, my buddy's up there changing a light switch in this doctor's office. Now, this doctor, a lot of these doctors, you know, if you're an arm doctor, you know, you have a collection of crap. Well, this doctor had a collection of skulls and bones, because that's what he worked on. You know, he had like a guy's arm that, you know, was like broken and re-healed, and had a guy with an abscessed tooth that, you know, it had blown out, and so it made an anomaly on the guy's jaw, and he had a guy that, just anyway, he had a bunch of collection of skulls. So my buddy's in there changing this light switch. He's talking to the doctor. Doctor says, hey man, check this out. Well, lo and behold, guess who's on the shelf? 4100. Whatever they did to the body, they did their thing. The doctor, I guess because he knew the backstory on 4100, decided to keep the skull for his wall. Long story short, fast forward another few years. My buddy, he's moved up the food chain now at the hospital and all that, and the doctor's retiring. So the doctor calls him up because my buddy's actually coordinating the move. So he's up there talking to him, what to do with all his crap and coordinating all this stuff to get it out of the office and that type of thing. Well, he goes up there and the doctor says, hey, take this box, this is yours. And so he's like, what's in it? And he says, well, 4100's in it. And my buddy's like, well, I don't want this thing. And the doctor says, I don't care, you're taking it. I got these other skulls are going to these other doctors, and this is my going away present to you. And it's, it's all legal and stuff. It's a medical skull at this point. It's got some numbers and all that crap. So my buddy, being my buddy, calls me up. Now, he's thinking, right? So my buddy calls me up and says, hey man, meet me at the bar for a couple of beers after work. I'll buy you a beer. Hell, can't pass up on a beer, right? Now, I'm going to tell you, if you want to pick up women, carry a box into a bar. Women are the most curious animals on the face of the planet. If you have a box, every woman in the place is going to be going, hey, what's in the box? What's in the box? And they won't leave you alone until you show them what's in the box. Swear to God. Just open up, send your wife to Europe, and then go in the back bedroom there, and open up your gun safe. And when you turn around, your wife will be standing there going, what's in your gun safe? What's in your gun safe? She's going to be all over. Okay. Fast forward. I meet my buddy at the bar. He comes in. He's got the box. He tells me the story about the doctor retiring. And he's got this box. And so he says, here. And of course, I don't want this friggin' head. And he's like, no. And he said, I'm going to go. He said he had to go take care of some business there in the bathroom. So he said, here, just check it out. I'll take it, but I'm going to the bathroom. So I said, okay. So while I'm opening this box, because I'm a half-ass believing him, I don't believe there's a head in this box. I look up and he goes, hey man, he's out the door. He's laughing his ass off. He's like, ha ha, he thinks it's just great fun. So I'm sitting there, I open the box, there's 4100. Now I'm sitting in a box, like I said, now every woman in the place wants to know what the hell's in the box. And I got a full beer, so now I got a dilemma. I can either show them what's in the box, be an asshole, or finish my beer. So I chug my beer, basically tell these women, back off, get out my box, leave me alone, and I'm gone. So I bring home 4100. Now my wife isn't real pleased about this either, but my buddy just thinks it's funny because he's telling all my other buddies. What do you do with it? Now, I don't know what to do with it. I'm not going to pay big money to go bury him. I'm not selling him on eBay because I don't believe in selling body parts on eBay, which you can do. You can buy heads on eBay all day long, which is kind of strange to me, but you can. I can't give him away. No buddies of mine want him. Well, I do have a buddy in New Orleans that has his girlfriend's kind of like a voodoo thing, and that ain't working because I ain't flying for that. I don't need no weird juju coming back on the house. So here I am. So I don't know what to do with the hell with 4100. So he wanted my stuff, so now he can look at it. That's the only thing I can tell you. Now he is part of my stuff. He wanted it, now he's got it. So I made him a little box, that's where he'll be, and I'm sure on his grand journey, somebody will come to my house and we'll be able to move him on out, move him down the road. So, guys, that's 4100, and believe me, I don't play with 4100. That's about the first time I've touched him in a few years. I don't mess with him. This has got bad juju all over it. I don't really care for it, but I don't know what to do with him. So, there he is. Technically, he is a medical skull. You can buy him on eBay, but, who the hell wants to buy a friggin' head on eBay? But that's it. That's 4100. That's all I got to tell you. Thanks for watching.